Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatyade Shutarni Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, welcome everyone. Amar Prasad. Let's just use the fourth and fifth wala zero kar dijiye. Now this one and next one. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Hare Krishna, so welcome everyone to our weekly Bhagavad Gita class. Thank you for coming. We are today taking a little early. Thank you for still coming. We are continuing our discussion from Bhagavad Gita as it is. We are on chapter 2nd, contents of Gita summarized. And we are hearing the wonderful discussion between Krishna and Arjun. Krishna has started speaking from the 10th verse of this chapter. In the 10th verse, Krishna first, 11th verse. The first thing which Krishna tells is, Arjun, you are behaving like an intelligent, but you are a fool. Nanu shochati pandita, the intelligent person doesn't lament for that which is anyway going to get destroyed. Why you are showing compassion for the body? Body is anyway going to get destroyed. And we heard the principle of Mayavad. In the 12th verse, Krishna describes, there was never a time when I was not existing, you were not existing, and all these kings were not existing. And there will be never a time when they will not exist. The soul is eternal and eternally individual. We can never become one with God. That is a simple understanding of Mayavad. Mayavad says we can become God. We are God. We are forgotten. हम भूल गए कि हम भगवान हैं. ऐसे कैसे भगवान है जो भूल जाते हैं. So that is the Mayavad philosophy. And various things Krishna has described about the nature of the soul, how the soul is eternal. And the first thing which Krishna tells is, therefore, please learn to tolerate Arjun. Arjun is thinking, okay, the soul is eternal, but I am attached to this body, this Bhishma, this Drona. He says, tolerate. There is no other way to live in this world than to tolerate. Tolerance is a very, very important principle in spiritual life. One of the basic principles of bhakti is one should be more humble than the blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree, ready to accept all the, ready to give all the respect to others and expect none in return. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. This is one of the very, very important principles. If somebody is proud of his achievements or qualification or wealth or fame or beauty or strength or whatever, it is very difficult for them to practice bhakti, because Lord is not pleased by any of the external achievements. You cannot impress the Lord by any of the things of the world, because you can impress a person if that person doesn't have what you have. कृष्ण के पास क्या नहीं है? सब कुछ है उनके पास, to the fullest. There is only one thing which attracts Krishna: a humble service attitude, humble devotion. So that is very, very important. Humility is the basic principle of spiritual life. Even if somebody starts practicing, one should not feel, अब तो मैं बहुत अच्छे से भक्ति कर रहा हूँ. Now I have started chanting so many rounds, तुम कितना करते हो? एक ही माला. अरे रे रे रे, मैं तो अभी 16 माला पे पहुंच गया हूँ. That means we have not understood the principle. If we are proud of our spiritual achievements, that means we have not understood. It is not about achieving something in spirituality. It is about developing connection with the Lord. And Lord is pleased when we are humble. Because a devotee always understands, whatever I have, it is by the mercy of the Lord. Whatever skills, whatever capability, whatever wealth, whatever intelligence, जो भी है, given by the Lord only. When it comes in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the beginning of the creation, when Brahma comes out from the navel of Lord Vishnu, सुना आप लोगों ने? ब्रह्मा जी आते हैं नाभि कमल से, and then Brahma ji is wondering. अपना जर्नी ऑफ सेल्फ डिस्कवरी का कोर्स होता है ना, उसमें क्वेश्चंस रहते हैं, हु एम आई, व्हाट आई एम डूइंग हियर. तो ब्रह्मा जी को सब क्वेश्चंस आ रहे हैं, हु एम आई, व्हाई आई एम डूइंग व्हाट आई एम डूइंग, व्हाट आई एम सपोज्ड टू डू. He hears a voice, tapa, tapa, 2 times. And he understands that there is somebody who is telling me to do tapasya. He does tapasya for 100 years. The Lord appears in front of him. And he says, and Brahmaji offers beautiful prayers. So Lord says, Brahma, you remember you heard tapa, tapa. Who spoke those words? Lord says, I spoke. Who gave you faith to believe in those words? Lord said, I gave. Who gave you strength to do tapasya? I gave. Now I have appeared and you are offering prayers. Who is giving you intelligence to offer prayers? Lord says, I am giving. So who are you to be proud of anything? Matchakarthanga matstotram matkathabhyudayankitam yadava tapasi te nishtha saesha mad anugraha. It is my mercy. Whatever tapasya, whatever intelligence, whatever faith you have, everything is given by Krishna. So this principle of humility is very, very importantly described in scriptures. And then Krishna starts describing how the soul is eternal, it cannot be killed, it cannot be burnt. So now we'll be continuing from 20th verse, I think. 19. Okay. So 19th verse, Krishna is describing something interesting. Yainam veti hantaram yaschainam manyate hatam ubhau tau na vijanito nayam hanti nahanyate. Translation, please.
He who thinks the living entity the slayer, not he who thinks it slain knowledge for the self place not known is known.
Okay, thank you. So he says, if somebody thinks soul can be killed, he is an illusion. And if you think you can kill someone, that is also illusion. Oh, if I'll die, that is also illusion. It is never possible. The soul cannot kill other soul, and the soul will never be killed. So somebody may say, ये तो अच्छा है license. I will kill somebody and say, अरे भगवत गीता में पढ़ के आए हैं आज. Soul is eternal. Soul can never be killed. So why are you blaming me? There is a principle in scriptures. Ma himsyat sarva bhutani. One should not give troubles to others. That is the principle everyone should follow. This verse doesn't give right to, kill anyone or do harm to anyone. So that's how it is very, very important. So this verse says it is unavoidable to keep body and soul together always. The soul enters the body with a leave and license agreement. Our birth date and the death date is fixed. Nobody can bargain with Yamraj. थोड़ा और time दे दो ना. बस 5 साल और. Srila Prabhupada writes in one of the purports, he saw one of the person, he was dying and he was telling doctor, give me just 4 years. I have so many projects to complete. बस मुझे 4 साल जीने दो बस. When death comes, you cannot even bargain for 1 second. That's how death is. So nobody can say, okay, no problem, I will live forever. But this body, you can live only for a certain moment, certain amount of time. So Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, when an embodied living entity is hurt by fatal weapons, it is to be known that living entity within the body is not killed. But Prabhupada writes after some lines, this, however, does not at all encourage killing of the body. प्रभुपाद पहले क्लैरिफाई करते हैं, नहीं तो फिर बाद में बोलेंगे प्रभुपाद जी ने लिखा था तो हम तो फॉलोअर हैं प्रभुपाद के. Prabhupada says, Ma himsyat sarva bhutani. One should never commit violence to anyone. So therefore, Arjun is telling Krishna is telling Arjun, please do your duty of fighting. It was the responsibility of Arjun to fight because he was a warrior, he was a Kshatriya. In current times, what is happening, people are really disturbed. In a few days back, somebody was telling me, प्रभु जी हमको भी कुछ करना चाहिए, हमको भी अपने पास कुछ गन रखना पड़ेगा. We should also be prepared. We should know what is our duty, what are we expected to do in our life, what government expects from us. And we have two types of dharma, the dharma of this world and dharma of the other world also. Dharma of this world means the duty of the family, society, country, that is dharma of this world. But while doing the dharma of this world, we should not forget dharma of the other world. We have to develop connection with Supreme Lord. That is more important dharma. Savai pumsam paro dharma yato bhakti adokshaje. What is paradharma? Paradharma means जो परलोक का धर्म है. परलोक, other world. What is that? Yato bhakti adhokshaje. The devotional service to the Supreme Lord, that is a dharma of the other world. So that we have to do. So Krishna is telling Arjun, you cannot run away from your duty. It is your duty to kill. And you cannot say, no, अब तो मुझे लग रहा है संन्यास लेना चाहिए. Sometimes all these things, they create some artificial renunciation in people. Students के साथ बहुत होता है ऐसा. I was giving classes in one college and one student comes and says, प्रभु जी ये क्या पढ़ाई सब मोह माया, क्या रखा है ये सब पढ़ाई में. मतलब एनीवेज उसको पढ़ना नहीं था पहले से. नाउ इज गेटिंग अ बोनाफाइड एक्सक्यूज. और एक लड़के ने तो अपने दरवाजे पे लिखा था हॉस्टल के, सब मोह माया है. Because anyways पढ़ना नहीं है मेरे को. Now I am getting a bona fide, argument. One of the students, he went home. He started attending our classes. 3-4 क्लास अटेंड किया होगा, थोड़ा फिलोसफी सुन लिया उसने. He went home. उसकी माँ बोलती है बेटा सब्जी लेके आना मार्केट से. बोलता है मनुष्य जन्म सब्जी लाने के लिए थोड़ी ना है. ह्यूमन लाइफ इज नॉट फॉर बाइंग सब्जी. मुझे भगवान से प्रेम करना है. तो माँ ने बोला इधर आ तेरे को बताती. So this is called as artificial renunciation. That is called as Markat Vairagya. You know what is Markat Vairagya? Markat means what? Monkey. Monkey renunciation. Externally, the monkey seems very renounced. बेचारे जंगल में रहते हैं, फल खाते हैं, nothing to wear, ऐसे बेचारे. But if you see a monkey closely, it will be surrounded by a dozen of she monkeys, always enjoying. That is called as Markat renunciation. दिखावे की वैराग्य है वो, अंदर कुछ नहीं है. Externally, we are showing that we are great renunciant. So that's how Arjun, he is trying to renounce the world. Krishna is saying, no, you can't renounce. Just imagine a question. What may happen if somebody takes to renounce life just to run away from the problems of the world? One person came and said, प्रभु जी आपके जीवन में क्या मजा है, एग्जाम नहीं है, एग्जाम नहीं देना आपको. मैं बोला तू भी आ जा. बोले नहीं प्रभु जी इधर ही ठीक है. And if somebody says enough of it, I want to come to temple. जीवन में इतनी परेशानियां है ना, क्या बताएं. सब तरफ से प्रॉब्लम ही प्रॉब्लम है. घर में प्रॉब्लम, ऑफिस में प्रॉब्लम. Problems are everywhere. So I want to just give up everything and come to temple so that I can be peaceful. Is this a right impetus to become a renunciant? How many of you feel yes? अरे संसार से दुखी होंगे तभी तो भगवान के पास जाएंगे. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. So then what is the problem which may come up? कितने लोगों को लगता है ऐसा नहीं है भाई? What is the problem with such type of renunciation? इस संसार के दुखों में फ्रस्ट्रेट होके आप संसार को त्याग देते हैं. ओके चलो एक्सक्यूज ढूंढ रहा है, एक्सक्यूज ढूंढ के उसने चलो ले भी लिया संन्यास. चलो व्हाट विल हैपन? टेम्पररी होगा. और क्या होगा? After he joins, after he becomes a renunciant, problems are everywhere. The shape of the problems change. ऐसा नहीं कि हमको तो रोज कृष्ण के दर्शन होते हैं प्रभु जी, हम तो एकदम आनंद में इतने मग्न है ना, क्या बताएं. Problems are everywhere. Shape of problem changes. So if he is running away from the problems of the world and becoming a renunciant, after becoming a renunciant, what will happen? यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम आएंगे तो बोलेंगे यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम है यार, जाता हूं मैं. So that's how we should not take to renounced order just to run away from the problems. The impetus for bhakti is, okay, it is good that some people they come to devotional service because they are frustrated with their lives. That is natural. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter 13th verse, 4 प्रकार के लोग मेरे पास आते हैं. चतुर्विधा भजन्ते माम जना सुकृतिन अर्जुना. 4 types of people they come to me, oh Arjun. Artha, Artharthi, Jigyasu and Jnani. Those who are distressed in life. दुखी होके लोग मेरे पास आते हैं. अर्थार्थी, सुख संपत्ति घर आवे, कष्ट मिटे तन का. यही सब आरती आती जाके हम लोग आ गए इधर. अर्थ, I want wealth in this world. Some people they come because they want to know ये लोग करते क्या हैं, ये लोग इस्कॉन में करते क्या हैं. जिज्ञासु, they are curious. They don't want to know about God, they want to know about what are these people doing. ये होता क्या इधर. It's like one time, many years back, one devotee he joined temple. He was a lawyer. And when he became a renunciant, his mother became really upset. So she wrote an article in newspaper. In this temple, people are lawyers, doctors, engineers, giving up their profession and doing all this, doing nothing for the society. It's a newspaper article आया बड़ा. So reading this, one person thought, "ये ऐसा कौन सा टेम्पल है जहाँ पे डॉक्टर इंजीनियर लोग खाली बैठे, जाके देखते तो है क्या होता है उधर." So he started coming to temple. He started attending programs. He also joined. So sometimes, this jigyasa also brings people closer to Krishna. But there are some people who actually want to know about God, Jnani. So it is good impetus that, okay, दुख है जीवन में तो भाई भगवान की भक्ति से जुड़ गए हैं. But after starting practice of devotional service, that should not continue to remain our impetus. क्योंकि क्या होगा? What will happen if somebody comes to bhakti because he or she is frustrated in life? बहुत जीवन में दुख है, भक्ति करने लगे तो जीवन में प्रॉब्लम्स खत्म हो गए, तो क्या होगा? हो गया ना, अभी पर्पस क्या था हमारा? Problems. Now problems are solved. Now I can go back to my old life. So after coming to spiritual life, Krishna consciousness, we should now learn to improve our impetus for bhakti. From getting away from the problems to developing relation with Krishna. And that is a very, very powerful impetus. Because when we develop the higher taste, please take out 2nd chapter, 59th verse. That is a very, very important verse which we should learn to apply in our life. In this verse, Krishna is telling, unless you develop connection with a higher taste, to give up a lower taste is very difficult. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinaha rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Translation please somebody.
Though the embodied soul may be restricted from sense of enjoyment, the taste for sense object remains. But seizing such engagements by experiencing a higher taste, he is fixed in consciousness.
Yes. So just running away from the problems will not help. We have to develop connection with the higher pleasure. Param drishtva nivartate, and that happens when we start sincerely practicing chanting of Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It is not that after coming to spiritual life, problems will subside. बहुत लोग यहाँ पे भक्ति बहुत 6 महीने, साल भर, 2 साल से ज्यादा से कर रहे होंगे. कितने लोगों के जीवन में प्रॉब्लम्स, अभी प्रभु जी जब से चैंटिंग करना शुरू किया ना, प्रॉब्लम्स तो आ ही नहीं रहे मेरे जीवन मालूम. ऐसा मजा आ रहा है, लाइफ इज फुल ऑफ फन. ऐसा हुआ है किसी के साथ? व्हाट विल चेंज? Yes. Problems may or may not come. If Krishna desires, problems may go less. But one thing will happen for sure. Our response to the problems will become better. Just like simple example. If a person joins firefighting department, day 1 he joins और एक आग लग गई, उसको बोला चलो तुमको जाना है. So he and another senior person who has 20 years of experience in firefighting, they both are there. So when the young new person, he sees the fire, क्या होगा? He'll be disturbed, anxious, अरे क्या होगा, जल गया मैं तो अंदर जाके. And the 20 years old person, senior person, what will happen? For him, is fire less? Fire is the same, right? What will change is the response because he is experienced. So that is what what is needed in the practice of bhakti, experience, how to handle the problems. When we keep on blaming others or blaming God, then problems will not solve. We have to learn to increase our tolerance capacity and learn how to handle the problems in right consciousness. And then we'll see miracles happen. When we develop a connection with the Lord, then Lord gives a power beyond our imagination. We learn to tolerate things in a peaceful way. कुछ लोग बोलते हैं टॉलरेंस, अरे सहन तो वो लोग करते हैं जिनमें शक्ति नहीं होती है. इट्स लाइक वो चींटी हाथी वाला स्टोरी सुना है? दो चींटियां जा रही थी और सामने से हाथी आता है, तो ये दोनों बोलते हैं चल दोनों मिलकर मारते हैं इसको. तो दूसरी वाली बोलती है जाने दो ना यार, वो हम दो हैं, वो अकेला है. You don't have the power, you can say anything. But when a devotee starts practicing spiritual life, practicing bhakti, one understands it is not about blaming somebody and telling अभी क्या करें, अभी तो कुछ है नहीं, तो छोड़ो, सहन करना ही पड़ेगा, ठीक है. No. Tolerance is not a weakness, it is a strength of a devotee. Why? Because when we tolerate, we know how to respond better. When we react impulsively, या कुछ भी हुआ, गुस्सा आया और एक गाली दिया उसको, डांट दिया उसको, how many of you felt after writing a message, angry mail or message and sending, immediately after sending few seconds you realized नहीं भेजना चाहिए था यार, इतना नहीं गाली देना चाहिए था इसको. कितने लोगों के साथ ऐसा हुआ है? हुआ है ना? बहुत लोगों के साथ हुआ, मेरे साथ भी होता है बहुत बार. But then I learned strategy. You write whatever you want to write, but don't send it. Wait for few hours. रात में ना जितना गाली देना है दे दो, लिख के रखो, कल सुबह सेंड करेंगे इसको. The next morning you get up and read it, you will realize इतना भी नहीं था यार प्रॉब्लम, इतना नहीं बोलना चाहिए था, थोड़ा इसको एडिट करना पड़ेगा, थोड़ा सा कम बोलना चाहिए. And I know this, but still I have made mistake many times. भेजने के बाद, at the peak of that emotion, you feel ये तो पक्का बराबरी है, ये तो भेजना ही चाहिए. After sending you feel अरे नहीं यार, ये वाला एक दो वर्ड थोड़ा एडिट करना चाहिए था. So that is the practice we have to do. When we learn to tolerate our emotions, we will know how to respond properly. If we just respond at the spur of the moment, our response will not be the best response. So that is how, if we are running away from the problems, that is not so good. It is about developing connection with Krishna. One time a businessman came to Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, I have one factory in Delhi, one factory in Jaipur, and I am doing all this, but I am so much in tension, I can't sleep. Prabhupada said, don't worry, you give us your companies and you sleep properly. We will handle. He said, no, Swamiji, I am trying to handle the problems. I will do something. Prabhupada told one of his disciples, please take his number. So he said, Swamiji, no, I will come back to you. Don't worry. Prabhupada said, we should also know how to come to you. Please give your number. And this person became restless, and then he said, Swamiji, I am going, I will come later. So that's how, people when they say, Arey, जीवन में इतना problem है ना, क्या बताएं? But they don't want to solve the problem. They don't want to understand, is there a way out of this? उनको रोने में मजा आता है. दुख बहुत है, फिर भी दुख से बाहर नहीं निकल सकते. They can't take to spiritual life. When the option is given, Baba, there is a better option available. You start practicing bhakti, connect to Krishna, you will learn how to handle these issues in better way. नहीं, वो नहीं करेंगे. So Krishna is telling Arjun, please don't run away from your duty. People suffer when they think life ends with death. बस मरने के साथ सब खत्म. And therefore people hanker for all the material pleasures in this world. There was a philosopher, his name was Charvak. His philosophy was यावत् जीवेत सुखम जीवेत ऋणम कृत्वा घृतम पिबेत भस्मीभूतस्य देहस्य कुतः पुनरागमन भवेत. क्या बोलता है, बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है. बोलता है जब जितना जीना है सुख से जियो. यावत जीवेत सुखम, सुख से जियो. Beg, borrow or steal, but eat food made in ghee. ऋणम कृत्वा घृतम पिबेत. Because भस्मीभूतस्य देहस्य, body is anyways going to die, right? आज तक किसी ने देखा पुनर्जन्म हुआ है किसी? नहीं. कुतः पुनरागमन, पुनरागमन होता ही नहीं है. So such philosophers were there in the Vedic times also, atheistic philosophers. And therefore these people, they want to get all the happiness in this world, material pleasure, मजा आना चाहिए. जितना मजा लेना है ले लो, ये यही शरीर है जो, और क्या है. इसको जितना निचोड़ना है निचोड़ो. It's like a cloth, when you wring, you start wringing it, पहले ज्यादा पानी निकलता है. कपड़ा धोने में निचोड़ा ना, पहले बहुत पानी आता है, फिर थोड़ा पानी खत्म हो गया, फिर और जितना निचोड़ोगे तो एंड में एक दो ड्रॉप. Our body is like that. Young age, जितना मजा निचोड़ना है निचोड़ो. Lots of happiness, pleasure. As one grows old, the water is lesser and lesser. But desire is the same, ना? इच्छाएं तो उतनी है अभी भी. Because we have not practiced to control the desires. You know, the problem, the happiness of this material world, it has two qualities. Bhog tyag. You enjoy it, and then after enjoying a lot, last time also I gave the example of gulab jamun. पहला खाएंगे तो wow, heaven. दूसरा, अरे अभी मजा आ रहा है. तीसरा, चौथा, पांचवा तक ठीक है अभी चले, इससे ज्यादा तो दो और खाएंगे, ठीक है चलो बोल रहे हो तो. सातवां आठवां खाने के बाद अगर 10वां आपको दें, बोले ये भी खाना है, तो क्या बोलेंगे? बिल्कुल नहीं खाना, भी देखना भी नहीं है गुलाब जामुन. भोग एंड देन त्याग. एंड द नेक्स्ट क्वालिटी ऑफ द मटेरियल प्लेजर इज चपल सुख. चप्पल सुख नहीं, चप्पल पड़ती है, we are beaten. चप्पल, it is very flickering. अभी है, अभी चला गया. And Krishna says in, please take out 5th chapter, 22nd verse. Very, very powerful verse Krishna says there. Any happiness you try to enjoy in this world, it is pregnant with misery. यही संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनय एव ते आद्यन्तवन्त कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधा. Translation please somebody.
An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery, which are due to contact with the material sources. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end, and so the wise man does not delight in them.
Wise people, they don't try to enjoy the things of the world because they know अंत में problem ही होता है. The happiness of this world is like happiness in the mode of passion. You know, we have discussed this. Happiness in 3 modes. Happiness in the mode of goodness, it is very painful in the beginning. In the end, it is happiness. शुरू में मजा नहीं आता. Any examples? Chanting. शुरू में तो कितना बड़ा तपस्या है. शुरू में क्या होता है, 10 साल 20 साल के बाद भी तपस्या लगता है बहुत बार. But as we get purified, we understand. As we are convinced, spontaneous taste will come after a long time, but we get convinced that this is the right thing I am doing. Happiness of this world is like, shuru mein to all wonderful, but in the end, it is painful. A simple example I have given many times. If somebody eats a very heavy, spicy चिली वाला पूरा ऐसा तीखा तीखा रात में ऐसा 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 करके खाते हैं ना, तीखा लगता है तो फिर भी खा रहे हैं, मजा आता है ऐसे होता है, किसी को एक्सपीरियंस है ना? तीखा खा रहे हैं और मजा भी, आंख से पानी भी आ रहा है, फिर भी खा रहे हैं। और नेक्स्ट मॉर्निंग क्या होता है फिर? ओहो, फिर बोलते हैं अरे यार क्यों खाया, नहीं खाना चाहिए था। संसार दावानल होता है फिर, आ गए। That is happiness in the mode of passion. So any happiness of this world is having that characteristic. शुरू में it looks good, but it is not so pleasurable in the end. In the previous times, kings, they had a particular way of punishing a person if the person has not done some serious mistake but punishment देना है. They would tell him eat. उनको जब गर्मा गर्म जलेबी ला के देते थे, बोले जितना खाना है खा जलेबी, उसको भर भर के जलेबी खिलाएंगे. And after eating lots of jalebi, you know what happens? One becomes really thirsty. फिर उसको पानी नहीं देंगे. Then the person suffers. यार पानी दे दो यार, बहुत प्यास लगी है. So happiness of this world is like that. शुरू में तो ऐसा मजा, but then it is सजा. In contrast to this, the pleasure which we derive in bhakti, that is different. That is eternal. That never decreases. And there is no oscillation. कुछ चपल नहीं है. There is no flickering there. We only need to enter that realm. उसमें घुसना बहुत मुश्किल है. Once somebody enters, then it is another world altogether. That's what Krishna says in the 9th chapter. Second verse, Krishna tells very beautiful definition of what is the path of Krishna consciousness. 9th chapter, second verse, Krishna uses a very wonderful word there. Rajavidya Rajaguhyam Pavitram Idamuttamam Pratyakshaavagamam Dharmyam Susukham Kartum Avyayam. In this verse, Krishna says, the path of bhakti, it is the best of all the knowledge. Raj Vidya Hevo. It is the king of knowledge. It is secret. It is very secret. Guhya. Bhagavad Gita is open secret. Everyone reads it, nobody understands it. सब पढ़ते हैं, but nobody can enter into the actual understanding of Bhagavad Gita. It is very pure, pavitram, uttama, it is the best. And he says, pratyaksha avagamam, you can personally experience it. It is not that ये तो कुछ लोगों को ही मिलता है, हम कहाँ से सब प्राप्त करेंगे. No, you can experience it personally. Just like when we eat, when we are hungry and we are eating, three things happen simultaneously. What happens when we start eating? What was maza aata hai, we get satisfied, pushti. We get tushti. Tushti means satisfaction. And second thing which happens is we get nourished, pushti. And the third thing which happens is the hunger decreases with every morsel of food. तीन चीजें होती है ना साथ में. Similarly, when we practice bhakti, three things happen simultaneously. Bhakti pareshanubhavo virakti anyatra chaisha trikaeka kala prapadyamanasya ythashnatasyu tushti pushti kshut apayo anughasam. This example is given. प्रसाद लेते हैं तो तुष्टि, पुष्टि, kshut apayo anughasam. Kshut means hunger decreases. Similarly, three things happen. Bhakti, we become more and more sincere in the practice of devotion. Para ish anubhava, we start experiencing Krishna's presence in our life. Krishna starts working and we start experiencing, ये तो कृष्ण ने ही किया है, ये अपने आप नहीं हो सकता. Sometimes some thoughts come, sometimes very slowly, and we realize, ये करना चाहिए. That is Krishna guiding a devotee. experience, one can experience Krishna's presence. पर ईश अनुभव हो सकता है भगवान का अपने जीवन में. And the third thing is virakti. One develops detachment from the things and unnecessary people of the world. We are not so much attracted in same old things which we were doing. ऐसा बहुत कुछ हुआ होगा ना अपने जीवन में, जो इस्कॉन में आने के बाद हुआ, पहले नहीं था. बहुत कुछ चला गया हमारे जीवन में से. क्या क्या चला गया हमारे जीवन में से? What are changes we have experienced in our life after practicing bhakti? कुछ परिवर्तन हुआ है कि as it is है, भगवद गीता की तरह? हाँ जी, फैशन कम हो गया. अरे वाह, सिंपल रहते हैं तो भी अच्छा लगता है. विरक्ति हो गई है अभी. और क्या हो गया? You know, there is a wonderful statement by Oscar Wilde. He says, fashion is such a ugly form of beauty that it has to be changed every 6 months. ना फैशन हर 6 महीने बदलना ही पड़ता है, उसको सहन नहीं कर सकते. 6 महीना हो गया ना बस. और क्या हो गया परिवर्तन? Okay, we have become more peaceful. ज्यादा डिस्टर्बेंस नहीं होता है, थोड़ा नेगेटिविटी इज लेस नाउ. We have started becoming, not so much interested in mundane things of the world. वो सारी मूवीज और वो सारे गाने और वो सारी पार्टियां वो भी कम हो गई हैं या फिर चली गई हैं जीवन से. That happens for sure. वो अपने आप होता है. नहीं हो रहा है मतलब कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. If we are still, मैं ना सब बैलेंस में करता हूँ. हम जैसे पहले थे अभी भी वैसे ही हैं. बस कृष्ण आ गया हमारे जीवन में, बस बाकी सब वैसा ही चल रहा है as it is. मतलब गड़बड़ है कुछ. If everything is as it is, if people, how many of your friends and relatives have told you, बदल गया यार, आप बदल गए हो, पहले ऐसे नहीं थे आप, अभी तो अलग अलग दिखते हो. If our relatives and friends are telling, हाँ ये अपने जैसा ही है, वो थोड़ा मंदिर आजकल जाने लगा है, मतलब कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. If everything is same, that means we are not sufficiently practicing bhakti. Otherwise, it has to happen. Virakti has to come. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Ashu Vairagyam. Vairagya has to come. Naturally, we become more interested in Krishna conscious activities. We become less interested in all the material activities. वो पुरानी मूवीज, वो पुराने न्यूज और वो सब चीजें अभी इतनी पसंद नहीं आती हैं. That has to happen. That is how Krishna works in the life of devotees. That is bhakti ras. Bhakti ras means disinterested in other things of the world. There is, sorry? Okay, one becomes very nicely situated in his mental situation, mental position. There was a great king, Bharat Maharaj, on whose name this Bharat Varsha. एक तो शकुंतला पुत्र भरत हैं, एक दूसरे वाले भरत हैं, ऋषभ देव के पुत्र भरत. He was a king of entire world. He ruled the kingdom, he ruled the world for many thousands of years. And then he gave up the kingdom to his son and he left for the forest. The description comes how he left the world. Very graphic description scriptures they give. The verse says, Jaho yuvaiva malavat uttama shloka lalasa. He gave up his wife, kingdom, wealth, family, just like one gives up stool and goes away. Passes stool and leaves. Any of us do experiment and observation ki kaisa hai. Why this example is given, There is a reason why this example is given. Jaho yuvaiva malvat. If somebody is having that urge to respond to nature's call, and then he goes and relaxes, evacuates, क्या होता है? Shanti, peace. What if one is not in a situation he has to hold it. क्या होता है फिर? Disgust, disturbance. And after passing stool, seeing that, what is the experience? Oh, it is abominable. Similarly, a person, when he advances in spiritual life, when one gives up the sense gratification, which is like the garbage, which is very dirty thing, one is peaceful, शांति. दुनिया वाले लोग कितना तड़प रहे हैं इंद्र तृप्ति के लिए, and I am peaceful. And if one is in the situation where he is surrounded by people who are doing sense gratification, disturbance. And if somebody sees a person doing sense gratification, disgust. So these three things, these three emotions, they come. अभी नहीं आएगा, बाद में आएगा. But keep on practicing. So that is the process of spiritual life. The more we practice bhakti, the more we can experience Krishna in our life. And that will not happen automatically. We have to offer intense prayers. Intense prayers are no option. कि भाई ठीक है, थोड़ा थोड़ा प्रार्थना कर लेना चाहिए कभी कभी. भगवान चैंटिंग कर रहे हैं, थोड़ा टेस्ट देना है तो दो, नहीं तो चलेगा अपने को. If we are not so serious about it, then Krishna will not give it. So that's how we have to understand. The more we practice this Krishna consciousness by regularly chanting, associating with devotees, rendering some seva, services are very, very important. When we start serving, especially when we start serving devotees, developing connection with devotees, helping them, serving them, we advance quickly. Srila Prabhupada would say, if somebody thinks I can practice bhakti alone, he is in great illusion. We all have realized ना, हम लोग भक्ति में कैसे आ गए, किसी ने तो हमको बुलाया, चलिए आइए, कुछ प्रोग्राम है, कुछ एक दो सेशंस हैं गीता के, बस एक दो सेशन ही अटेंड करने हैं, बस ज्यादा नहीं. Krishna enters in the life of a devotee very slowly. धीरे से आते हैं, पता भी नहीं चलता है कि आ गए अंदर. And when you allow Krishna to enter your life, he doesn't leave so easily. Krishna is very expert. He enters like a needle and comes out like a plow. You just allow Krishna to enter your life and then see what he does. Miracles happen. Life is changed. Our way of seeing things change. Our way of responding to problems change. We become more peacefully situated. And most important, we learn to develop connection with Krishna. We learn to realize the eternal happiness by practice of bhakti. So that is what this Bhagavad Gita is teaching us. Any questions? Any questions so far? We'll stop here. Any questions or comments? Anybody would like to add something? Okay, so thank you very much for coming early today. So I hope everybody has started chanting. Those who are coming, if you have not started, please start. Those who have started, please try to become more attentive. Try to increase the quantity also. Somebody was telling yesterday, Prabhu ji, quantity बढ़ाना important है कि quality? Ultimately, quality ना, भगवान का एक नाम सुन लेंगे तो it is sufficient, right? तो हम एक ही माला करते हैं ना. So a simple example is given. If a patient goes to a doctor and the doctor tells, I am giving you the best quality medicine, and patient says, best quality है ना, एक लिया तो चलेगा क्या? डॉक्टर क्या बोलेगा, ऐसा नहीं होता है, you have to take the full dosage. So we have to take this Krishna consciousness dosage in sufficient quantity also. That is also equally important. So increase the quantity and then automatically quality will increase in due course of time. That is directly proportional. Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Shla Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.